Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Mondays Are for the Nerds.
I'm your co-host, Jay Wright.
And I'm your other co-host, Tristan Stump.
We thank you for joining us this week in this new year.
A new year of 2025.
Exactly. Where we recap all of your past week's nerdy news.
Nerdy news.
Happenings.
In this case, a little bit of 2 weeks, but...
Yeah. As you'll see.
It's enough to fit into one episode so we could just take the holidays off. So the new year off. So
did you have it? We hope our listeners had a good holiday.
Yeah, I hope you had
good
good Christmas, a good New Year.
And the lazy week between.
good holidays.
Did you have a good holiday?
I did.
Nice.
How about you? You have a good holiday?
I did. Pretty chill. Play some Red Dead and that's about it.
I actually didn't play as many video games as I would like. Family and so on kept me very busy. But I did have a lot of fun. So that's all that matters. Jacob got me a minifigure display case.
Dude,
it's 16. It fits 16 figures, and then you can get more and stack them on each other like big Lego bricks. Because those they have one that holds 4 and one that holds 16, and then you're able to like mix and match. From there. So very, very cool.
That sounds awesome.
I got that. I told you about it's called a tour box. It'll help with editing for my computer. Just all sorts of some books and shirts. I got a really good shirt. I got a really funny shirt that has Gollum on the front holding a taco, and it says Taco Bell up in the corner.
I love that. Nice.
How about you though? Get any good gift hauls?
I got a bunch of Taylor Swift stuff.
Does not shock me. I almost got you a Taylor Swift thing.
What were you gonna get me?
It was one of the books at Walmart. But I'm like, either he's already got it or his mom's already got it for him.
True. I mean, they have a crap ton.
Yeah.
I got that. I got 2 Lego sets. You know the one, the Disney villain bookend, which I knew about, and then I told you the piece by piece rocket. I got that. My brother got me a Travis Kelce bobblehead, which is gonna go up with the Taylor Swift stuff. I got her new vinyl, the Eras Tour book. Saw a bunch of movies on streaming and stuff. I finished Modern Family, and I almost cried, despite knowing what was gonna happen. But like, I still almost cried. I was like, I've watched this family grow for 12 years in the span of 5 months.
I did not watch as many holiday things as I would like because I've been working and other stuff that by the time I got home, it was time for me to go to bed. So I would just play Big Bang Theory to go to bed and then not because I don't want to watch like Christmas Carol or anything before I go to sleep. Most of that I watch with my family. There's a few I watch by myself. Bah Humduck I usually watch by myself. That's the Looney Tunes Christmas Carol movie.
Yeah. Bad Santa.
Yeah. New Year's, they ended up watching. I had to work the next day, so my sister and my dad's movie choices I did not get to watch. But every New Year's, my family, we all pick one movie, and then we watch it all night.
Yeah.
We only had time for 3. We watched The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston.
Nice. I need to see that.
Very, very good. We watched Forbidden Planet, the 1962, I think. 59, something like that. It's an not animated. It's a old sci-fi. It's the first appearance of Robbie the Robot. Leslie Nielsen before he did funny stuff. Yeah, very good. And then I picked Howl's Moving Castle.
Nice.
So my mom and dad
You're
watched the studio.
making them watch an
animated movie. I made them watch an anime, and we watched Howl's Moving Castle. They enjoyed it. Of course, we watched it in English.
Yeah,
so it was
Billy
Crystal is in it.
Crystal and Christian Bale.
And anyway, so that I also got to do. So we did watch some movies and stuff over our little break.
Which one did you miss?
My sister picked the Mean Girls musical, and then my dad picked the new Bad Boys.
Yes.
So I missed watching those, but everyone else got to watch them also.
Mean Girls.
Yeah, we
saw it together.
We all went and saw it together. My sister and the whole gang.
Yeah.
Went and saw it, but
I was like, I was there.
Yeah.
We watched for New Year's Eve. We always watch a movie. We watched Smokey and the Bandit 2, which I had never seen. Apparently, my dad had never seen it either.
Huh.
Even though we watched the first one, I think last year. The one with have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen it.
It was so funny. so funny. I just love Sheriff Buford and like his son. Every time he'd say something, my dad would just be howling. And that whole last scene, like all the cars and all the trucks, and just, so good.
But yeah, so sounds like we both had a pretty good holiday. Pretty good New Year.
Glad to be back with you guys.
Yes, absolutely glad to be back. We have a lot planned, both personally and for the channel.
Yes.
For 2025, and I say channel because, yeah, we have plans.
Yeah, think about that. Ruminate that.
Think about what channel. Think about what channel might insinuate. There you go.
TV show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got picked up by Fox, baby.
Exactly. It was the Fox's like 4th channel, but
yeah, it's the 4th remake of Odd Couple. So. Or a remake of Perfect Strangers. They told us it's up to us. So yeah.
And we chose the latter. Should I get my releases?
Yes, sir.
All right. I included releases from last week as well, since there wasn't really too much to begin with. And like almost nothing released this week anyway.
Yeah.
On VOD/digital on Tuesday, December 31st, we got Wicked, which showing up for the 5th episode in a row, released on VOD. And also on the 25th, it released the sing-along version in theaters. And A Real Pain released on that day. In theaters, on Wednesday, December 25th, we got Baby Girl. A high-powered CEO puts her career and family on the line when she begins a torrid affair with a much younger intern. We got the release of Nosferatu, and then 1830s, estate agent Thomas Hutter travels to Transylvania for a fateful meeting with Count Orlok, a prospective client. In his absence, Hutter's new bride, Ellen, is left under the care of their friends, Frederick and Anna Harding. Plagued by horrific visions and an increasing sense of dread, Ellen soon encounters an evil force that's far beyond her control. I forgot to say, Trey did drag me to this. You guys know all about it.
Oh, yeah, you did go watch it and absolutely
under the false guise
have the worst time of your life.
No. Spiral was worse.
Spiral was worse. Fair. Spiral would have been worse.
Anybody who knows me, when it comes to horror movies, I don't do horror movies. And the two that I will not be convinced to go see is like Demon and Possession stuff or Saw. You're not going to be able to see that. Trey finally broke me. He literally said, if you cave and go see Nosferatu with me, I will owe you my life. And I'm like, oh, fine. It's a vampire movie. I'll be fine.
I've been needing a life, so.
Yeah. I need something. And then on the way there, he's like, oh yeah, he like possesses people in this. I was like, are you kidding me?
It's just an interesting choice to go with instead of mind control, which I guess you could argue is the same thing.
It's kind of, it's not really like strict.
Yeah.
But,
Nosferatu, even the old one, it's a little more explicitly like, this is way worse than Dracula kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. I can appreciate it for the technical side and like the acting, because like cinematography was amazing. I think I'm just reiterating what I said in our chat. Cinematography was amazing. Visual effects was amazing. There's this one scene, which I think might be in the trailer, where he's like, you can see his like shadow of his hand, and then it just like goes out the window, and it looks like the shadow of his hand is reaching across the entire town. So cool. The acting was like phenomenal. Lily Rose Depp is amazing.
I've heard Willem Dafoe did.
He's like so really, really good. Oh yeah, and the Nicholas Hoult even was like super good. Yeah, I can appreciate it for like the technical part, but I'm not going to see that ever again in my life. Never again. Never again.
Movies like that, I wait till I can watch it from the safety of my home.
And not in the dark.
And not in the dark, not in a even if it's a theater full of people, there's just something about scary movies like that where I'm like, no. Haunting of Hill House, I have to watch with all the lights on.
No, I haven't started. No, I'm not going to start that. Trey had us sit in the front row of like the good, it was in Cinema 6, so the front row of like the good seats. Mm-hmm. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? My heart rate was up to 116, which I told you guys about that.
Yeah.
At its highest. And within 6 minutes, it went from like 108 to 111 to 116. I was like, it's a good movie for the technical side. If you're a horror fan, you're probably going to love it.
Yeah.
Probably going to love it. We also got a complete unknown. In the early 1960s, 19-year-old Bob Dylan arrives in New York with his guitar and revolutionary talent, destined to change the course of American music. Forming his most intimate relationships during his rise to fame, he grows restless with the folk movement, making a controversial choice that reverberates worldwide. My mom and I did go see that. I really liked it. I can see why Timothée Chalamet is getting acting praise for it. The Fire Inside also came out. The story of Clarissa T-Rex Shields, a boxer from Flint, Michigan, who trained to become the first woman in her country's history to win an Olympic gold medal in the sport. Better Man, for the second episode in a row, got a limited release. The true story of the meteoric rise, dramatic fall, and remarkable resurgence of British pop superstar Robbie Williams. That's when he is played by a CGI chimpanzee. And The Room Next Door got a limited release. Ingrid and Martha became close friends while working together at the same magazine. After years of being out of touch, they meet again in an extreme but strangely sweet situation. Then on Friday, January 3rd, the Seven got its 30th anniversary IMAX re-release. On the streaming side of things, Tuesday, December 24th, we got Gladiator 2 that dropped on Apple TV Plus for the second episode in a row. The Front Room dropped on Max. Everything goes to hell for newly pregnant Belinda after her mother-in-law moves in. As a diabolical guest tries to get her claws on the child, Belinda must draw the line somewhere. And also on Friday, January 3rd, one of my most anticipated of 2024, which everyone got to see before we did in the U.S.
Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl dropped on Netflix. Gromit's concern that Wallace has become over-dependent on his inventions proves justified when Wallace invents a smart gnome that seems to develop a mind of its own. We both watched it yesterday. Loved it.
Dude.
I loved it. 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
Early 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
You're going to hear nothing but praise from me for this movie.
A 10 out of 10 movie. I was laughing the whole time.
I know. And I told you that last 25 minutes. It just...
I mean, Wallace and Gromit has always been good at physical comedy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's just maybe because it's been so long since we've had like a movie with physical comedy in this way. We kind of had that one scene from Brothers, but
yeah,
like anyway.
And this is the first piece of Wallace and Gromit media we've gotten since Curse of the Were-Rabbit?
No, since 2008.
Oh, so just a couple years after that.
Yeah, I think it's A Matter of Loaf and Death was the last one. Between Were-Rabbit and now, I do believe A Matter of Loaf and Death was the next one. And it was also that one was the first short film since 1995. So from 1995 to 2008, they didn't make any like TV specials. And then
Curse of the Were, which I believe won an Oscar, won Best Animated Feature, I think.
Yes, it did. That's
what I thought.
Because kind of circling back, like full circle, Howl's Moving Castle, I believe, was nominated.
The same year?
The same year. Yeah, so Howl's Moving Castle was nominated the same year as Wallace and Gromit. And so, yeah, Wallace and Gromit won. Deservingly so.
Oh, absolutely.
Great movie. But anyway, back to Vengeance Most Fowl.
Yeah, featured the glorious return of one of the greatest cinematic or even just villains on screen ever, Feathers McGraw. Not a spoiler because it's in the trailer.
And it's called A Vengeance Most Fowl. Who else was it going to be?
FOWL.
Look, very few movies get the pass to have the main character say the title of the movie. This
one does.
Other than like when it's like a one-word title in a movie, then it's fine. But when it's like A Vengeance Most Foul, only Wallace
get a pass for anything.
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit got a pass for it. I mean, it's in the trailer, but when they're tied up, it goes, "It's A Vengeance Most Foul," and then like there's the thunder. And
oh, it's just a chicken with a glove on its head. No, it's Vengeance Most Foul.
And then like the two other side characters were actually enjoyable, because Were-Rabbit had a pretty big, not big cast, but like for Wallace and Gromit, it had a big cast. So this one actually had a comparatively
sized down
cast, almost about as many characters as one of their TVs, like A Close Shave or Matter of Loaf and Death would have had, with only like maybe one or two other characters. And so you might expect, well, that might make the movie seem a little small. No,
it
definitely makes
not at all.
It definitely makes it.
It feels grand. And the way I'm so amazed at how they can take Feathers McGraw, a penguin that literally doesn't change his eyes. He doesn't like furrow his eyes or anything. It's just two beads and like an orange cone. But it's like the body language.
Yeah, body language alone.
Him doing the pull-ups on the crowbar in prison in the zoo.
Yeah.
Again, in the trailer, is so intimidating for a penguin, a tiny penguin.
And just not even a sound effect out of the character, because there's parts where he goes like, "Oh, phew," but he doesn't. Like, it's just all body language. The animation alone on Feathers McGraw is just
simple but gorgeous.
Absolutely. And I just love stop motion, especially Aardman's. They're so good.
I love Aardman.
They're so good at physical comedy, which not a lot of stop motion does. And so just the slapstick and the heart. The movie had so much heart.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll tell you, one of the funniest parts of the movie was the gnomes.
It was. Oh, absolutely. I thought they'd be annoying.
Creepy as all get out.
If you're like a 5-year-old watching this, the gnomes might give you nightmares.
Yeah, the gnomes are actually quite creepy, but they're also some of the funniest parts of the movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's okay for me to talk about this, so I might cut it out. But the charging scene when he's charging at the beginning of the movie,
it's fine.
And he's just like, it was specifically the eyes just like half open and just like,
and all of a sudden it stops and it just glows, and it goes quiet again. And he's like, charging 1%.
And then, yeah, we can't talk about spoilers too much, but it's just all so good. And every major character in the movie gets a good laugh. Mm-hmm. So it's just...
I just love this movie so much.
Yeah,
I want to go watch it.
It was so good, so beautiful, so funny. We're repeating ourselves at this point, so we should probably move on.
Yeah.
But Vengance Most Fowl.
Go watch Wallace and Gromit Vengance Most Fowl on Netflix if you have Netflix.
So good. 10 out of 10.
On the TV side of things, we just got to Thursday, January 2nd, brought the season 3 premiere of Animal Control and the series premiere of Going Dutch, both on Fox.
So glad Animal Control is still going strong, because Joel McHale was struggling for a while to keep a show on air.
He got Card Sharks. That's about it.
And there was The Great Outdoors, Card Sharks, what were the other ones?
That is all my releases for this week. You got any news?
Yes, I have no releases from the past 2 weeks. No notable releases. There's been plenty of like shovel, the Steam, and but I didn't see any major indie release, any major not to like put down those other games that came out, but but I do have some news to go through. This episode is going to be formatted a little differently because of the lack of
from
news
both of us.
But we do have things to make up for that. As you will see. But as far as my gaming news goes, Digital Daredevils announced Vikings Dynasty, a dynasty city-building action RPG set for release in late 2025. While exploring, ravaging, and pillaging are commonly associated with Viking culture and their legendary status as warring wayfarers, their family values are almost second to none. After your ship crashes on a rugged coast, you find yourself lost in a large archipelago. Archipelago?
Sorry.
After your ship crashes on a rugged coast, you find yourself lost in a large... Say it for me, Jay.
Archipelago.
There you go.
A-R-C.
It's right here in front of me. I know what it's spelled.
I'm like a spelling bee.
The American school system failed me. Anyway. Fend for your life against the elements and nature itself with its ever-changing environment, and build a new home for yourself as well as other survivors against a beautiful backdrop of fjords and forests. Balatro, Friends of Jimbo Pack 3, was revealed in a trailer, adds cards themed around Divinity, Original Sin 2, Shovel Knight, Potion Craft, Enter the Gungeon, Cult of the Lamb, Don't Starve, 1000 Times Exist, and Warframe, available now. A game about digging a hole was revealed. It is a game about digging a hole.
Yes.
Coming to PC. You upgrade your shovel, and you just keep digging. You go back to your garden shed, you get upgrades, and you keep digging.
It's like what all dudes do at a beach.
Yep.
Dig a hole.
Just dig a hole. Shadowvale, Legend of the Five Rings, received a gameplay trailer, releases Q1 2025. It's a roguelike deck builder. Strange Antiques had a gameplay reveal trailer from the creators of Strange Horticulture. Play as an apprentice in a magic antique shop, identifying and cataloging strange artifacts. Thomas the Tank Engine and Train Sim World 5 collab was revealed, launched in 2025. Black Myth Wukong director Fang Ji stated that the lack of an Xbox release was due to the Xbox Series X's limited shared memory capabilities. The Fantastic Four was revealed from Marvel Rivals alongside Season 1, set to launch January 9th. And a teaser trailer was released for a video game adaptation of Agatha Christie's Murder on the Nile, coming to all platforms in 2025. I believe it's from the same team that made a original Hercule Poirot mystery called The First Cases. I believe it's original. I don't think it was based on a book. When I played it, I didn't recognize it any.
You say there was like a trailer?
Yeah, it was a teaser trailer.
I'm gonna have to watch it. What game would you like?
It's like
describe it to me.
It's top down, and you go around, talk to people, and then gather your clues, and then there'll be points in the story where Hercule Poirot's like, I need to put the clues together.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, that's all my gaming news. Not a whole lot. There's probably some I missed. There's some rumors I could have talked about, but I'm like, we haven't done rumors so far, other than like a couple ones. I'm like, okay, this is legitimate, but like
that's basically confirmed.
Yeah.
I'm going to say all of my movie news right now outside of comics because I also don't have a lot. In posters, we got a poster for Lilo and Stitch on New Year's Eve for the second episode in a row, poster for Squid Game Season 3, and our first poster for Zootopia 2. Did you see that?
It was a Chinese poster, wasn't it?
Chinese for the Chinese New Year because this is a year of the snake, and of course Ki Kwan is playing the snake. New character in Zootopia 2. In terms of trailers and teasers, we've got the trailer for the Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia crossover, releasing January 8th airing January 8th on ABC. New trailer for Flight Risk, releasing January 24th in theaters. Trailer for Fight or Flight, releasing 2025 in theaters. Love Me, releasing January 21st in theaters. The Recruit Season 2, releasing January 30th on Netflix. And the new docuseries Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, releasing January 14th on Peacock. And release dates, G20, Viola Davis's new action thriller, releases on April 10th on Amazon Prime Video, follows the U.S. president who becomes the target of an attack at the annual G20 World Leaders Summit, also starring Clark Gregg and Anthony Starr. And Sing Sing will be returning to theaters on January 17th. No castings, no new looks. For first looks, we got our first look at Fight or Flight. First look at which includes Josh Hartnett, described as an action thriller where he's trapped in a plane full of assassins, produced by the team behind the John Wick films. And first look at Love Me, which featured the first look at Kristen Stewart and Steven Yeun, described as a sci-fi romance following the love story between a satellite and a buoy, which I'm very intrigued by that. I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Wall-E at the Sea.
Wall-E meets Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Or Finding Dory, maybe.
They spun a wheel and they were like, all right, let's make this movie.
Landed on Wall-E.
Wall-E meets
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
And box office earnings, Nosferatu opened with $40.3 million domestically, second biggest opening for an R-rated horror movie in 2024. And it's already Robert Eggers' highest grossing movie domestically. Wicked, for the fifth episode in a row, has become the highest grossing musical adaptation of all time globally, passing Mamma Mia, which I saw everyone say was like, release Mamma Mia in theaters right now. Mufasa the Lion King, for the second episode in a row, passed $300 million worldwide. These are all like earlier this week, so it's probably more by now.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3, also for the second episode in a row, passed $200 million worldwide. And not really at earnings or records, maybe at records, but Wallace and Gromit, Vengance Most Fowl, aired on BBC earlier in the week and became the most watched film broadcast on English TV in 25 years with 16.2 million viewers.
Hey.
Because
that just proves our point more.
Exactly. I told Haley, I'm like, I know we've had this conversation, but what are your thoughts on Wallace and Gromit? Do you love it as much as Americans ironically love it? And she's like, I watched it. I like it, but I don't love it as much as you guys love it. I was like, I don't know what it is. Americans love Wallace and Gromit.
Maybe it's just us, because I was talking to Piper about it. I'm like, a new Wallace and Gromit movie came out. She's like, what? And I'm like,
what?
Stop motion with the bald man and the dog? Oh, by the people that make Shaun the Sheep?
Glenn Powell for the 9th episode in a row. We got the first teaser for Chad Powers. And How to Train Your Dragon. We got a new look at Mason Thames and Nico Parker as Hiccup and Astrid. And new announcements. Dexter prequel focused on the Trinity Killer is officially moving forward. John Lithgow will star as the inner voice of his younger self. Clyde Phillips and Scott Reynolds will serve as co-creators. A new Treasure Island movie is in the works at Disney. Tyler Nelson and Michael Schwartz behind the Peanut Butter Falcon are developing the film, described as, quote, an Australian surfer version of Treasure Island. And Robert Eggers will reportedly direct a new Labyrinth movie. And then this week, we only got one. R.L. Stein says 3 more Fear Street films are in the works on Netflix. And I don't usually mention miscellaneous announcements, but I will this week because I have literally 4. 3 from this week. Last week, of course, like we said, the week we didn't decide to do it, Christopher Nolan was announced what his next film will be. It'll be an adaptation of The Odyssey, described as a mythic action epic that follows the tale of Odysseus and his 10-year journey home after the Trojan War for anyone who did not take an honors English class. Starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Matt Damon, Lupita Nyong'o, and Robert Pattinson. That's all confirmed right now. I saw someone on TikTok today say, I appreciate Christopher Nolan trying to make the best Odyssey, but we got Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and that's,
yeah,
you're not going to beat that.
Yeah. Also, we're calling it now. Tom Holland is totally Odysseus, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People are saying it's probably Matt Damon.
Might be Matt Damon because they might want to make it someone older. But like when you list Tom Holland for no, it could be Matt Damon. Tom Holland's the son.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people.
Never
are
mind.
saying.
There we go. I scratched that. I've thought it now that I've thought
people
about it
are like
more.
Robert Pattinson could be Poseidon or the Cyclops.
I talked about this when we messaged each other, but Zendaya being Athena kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I feel like she could play the type of character that Athena is in that story.
Yeah, but yeah,
moving on.
That's going to be Christopher Nolan's next movie. And then this week we got some announcements. Blade Runner 2099 has wrapped filming. The Housemaid has begun filming, and the franchise was canceled by HBO after one season.
I do have one miscellaneous news.
Yes.
A Lego Lilo and Stitch set was announced. That is Lilo and Stitch's house.
Yes.
And it's actually minifigures.
I forgot to say
and
that.
It's surprisingly not like a 6+ set or anything like that. It's just
it's from the animated one.
It's a 9+ set, I should say. So it's like not quite... But it looks like it's based on the animated one because
So Trey sent me that and he told me about it and I thought it was live action because is this gonna be our first peek at Jumba?
No, we don't. There's not Jumba and Pleakley aren't even in the set.
Yeah,
aren't even in the set. But it does come with Nani. Another version, I think it's just the same exact Lilo as is with the Disney 100 set, and then Cobra Bubbles and David, and then another Stitch.
I feel like what I would like for a Jumba would be like the Hulk ones, where it's like you attach the arms and like you.
Oh yeah, it
like
would just be it would just be the rant like it would just be a big fig, and then Pleakley would probably just be a minifigure with maybe a molded
maybe the
head.
longer legs
And a molded head, maybe.
Yeah. It'd have to be molded head.
Yeah, unless it's one of his disguises, then you'd make a minifigure head and give him a wig.
The old woman disguise.
Dude, Lilo and Stitch the animated series is one of those like Disney for a while was good at making TV show adaptations of their films, and then they just decided to turn them into full movies instead.
Leroy and Stitch. Stitch has a glitch.
Just Lilo and Stitch the series in general.
Yeah.
The Aladdin series, the Hercules series, like they're all so good. None of them lasted too long, but as you could also argue to the show's benefit.
Yeah.
So like
got out well ahead.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool Lego set. Comes out March 1st for $90, I believe.
Nice.
I don't know what the piece to price ratio is for that one, but it's probably fair. It's Disney, so you're going to pay like an extra $20 for it.
Yeah. That is all my news.
So instead of, I guess, like this is where I would usually have done my news, I am doing a little bit of a thing that I wanted to do as a separate project from this, but I decided I had so few news and I wanted to get it out and faster than I would have on my own. I'm doing a prediction for Nintendo's 2025 because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little biased towards Nintendo here at Mondays Are for the Nerds. As much as I've mostly talked about PlayStation.
I'm the PlayStation boy over here.
I'm a Nintendo guy. So years and years of watching people do this, I wanted to do it myself. It's hard. It is hard to try to predict, like especially this year when you don't know how things are going to time out and you're making predictions. I have got to go like, no, I'm doubling down on this. This is what I think.
Before you start, you remember that year whenever I made like the whole MCU schedule?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is how it could work and not overlap. And then it didn't work at all like that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Watch this happen with me. Yeah. I'm going, this is...
No.
I'm making this lineup. None of it is going to be anywhere remotely accurate.
It's going to happen. That's going to be the only thing.
I did include things that we know is happening because I tried to split this in the months and like, this is what the year's going to go like. I did match up rumors, my own personal, like once a little bit. I try not to be too wishy-washy. I try not to be too unrealistic. But I did throw a few unrealistic things in there. Rumors that patterns, which they don't follow, but it's good to look back and say, okay, this is what they've done before, especially with 2017. I tried to look back at how the Switch's release year went. And so I just tried to match this all up to make this prediction. Starting in January, a Switch 2 reveal teaser trailer will be released by January 20th. I'm guessing January 15th. That is going to be my prediction is January 15th. We're going to wake up and we're going to have a trailer for the Switch 2. Not a full reveal, not a full presentation, just a trailer, a teaser, just show us the console. Like this is the official announcement. Come back later for a full-on presentation. Yeah. And then Donkey Kong Country Returns HD will release on January 16th. February, a full Switch 2 reveal presentation or direct, whatever they want to call it, will release on February 5th. confirms all leaked aspects of the console, including the magnetic Joy-Cons, the fact that it is an inch bigger, the fact that it runs better than the Switch 1. A picture of the motherboard apparently leaked. And so basing on what people can summarize from that, it might run about as well as a PS4 Pro when docked and a PS4 or so, like when in handheld. So like that, we'll see that it runs that well. We'll see that the dock has an Ethernet port. It just comes with an Ethernet port in the dock instead of having to wait a couple of years for a new dock with an Ethernet port. It's just going to be there from launch. A 3D Mario will briefly be shown. It is a launch title. The C button, which is the extra button on one of the remotes that was not on the Switch 1, will be confirmed to be a cast button, making the Switch 2 a second screen when undocked and the TV being your main screen. Similar to what the Wii U might have been, but obviously in an optional way. I don't think any game will require this. This matches with a patent they made about a similar running technology that wasn't quite the Wii U, but it still like basically did what the Wii U did. So that will be what the C button does, and is what I'm predicting. There's a lot of different other theories of what it could be, but I think I've decided that one. Nintendo likes to do gimmicks. The Switches was handheld and not handheld. What do they do now? They try to make it both at the same time. That's what I think their gimmick's going to be. Switch 1 games will be shown running better on the Switch 2, emphasizes backwards compatibility, so any other Switch 1 games releasing previously in this year will be available for Switch 2, as to not hinder those game sales. Third-party support will be shown off. Elden Ring and Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think, will be shown in this presentation. Running on the console and confirmed for release. Nintendo wants this console to be part of everyday life, so Spot Pass from the 3DS, where that's when you carried it around while it was on, and it would match with other people's 3DSs, and you would get like swap goodies and stuff. I feel like that will return. Miiverse might be back, which was Nintendo's own personal, like this is Twitter on the Wii U. They might bring that back. That one's I'm just kind of shot in the dark there. And I think the Nintendo Music app, which came out this previously, will be built into it. So it'll be like, we want you to listen to music on it. We want you to carry it everywhere with you. We want this to be a part of your everyday life. We want Nintendo to be part of your everyday life. We'll see more of that from them this year. I feel this isn't written down my predictions, but I do feel like more things like Alarmo will be seen. Where they're just releasing random, like, we want, Nintendo branded this. And I feel like we're going to see more of that. The Nintendo Switch Online subscription will have Switch 2 exclusive things, including a DS Virtual Console utilizing the cast button so you can have both screens, and a full version of whatever that game test was. I feel like will be fully shown for the Switch 2 specifically. I feel like the game test was only done for Switch 1 because that's what everyone has. And it will release May 22nd for $449.99 USD. I don't think they're going to go too expensive. They want to be cheaper than the competition. That's what Nintendo's always tried to do. But I feel like because of inflation and because of tariffs and different other things, it'll probably be a little more expensive than they like. A lot of people might think, oh, maybe it'll be $400, which is still Nintendo's most expensive, because the Switch was $300. But I feel like just a lot of factors will make this $449.
But I mean, still in like comparison to like PlayStation,
which is
at least $150 cheaper. For the cheapest option.
So
new.
Yeah, so I don't know what the different SKUs will look like. That maybe if I were to make an alternative guess, maybe $399.99 for like just the base one, and then one that maybe comes with a game or comes with a larger amount of space will be another $50. But I think my prediction is $449.99. A Pokemon Presents will also be held in February on the 19th. Pokemon Legends ZA, which was revealed earlier in 2024, will release in winter 2025, and it will be a Nintendo Switch 1 game, not a Nintendo Switch 2 game, although we will reconfirm that it runs better on the Switch 2, so you can still buy it either way. It won't harm the...
By winter 20, do you mean like November,
December?
Yeah.
March, a Mario Day presentation will be held on March 10th. This is the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, so there's got to be big things going on. They're going to show us some new merch. They're going to show us maybe the return of a couple older collectibles that they're re-releasing for the 40th anniversary. Mario Movie 2 We'll have a cast reveal as a reminder that the movie is out in April of 2026. I believe April 3rd.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wario will be voiced by Danny DeVito. They will actually go, you know what? You're right. We're not going to go some weird thing like Pedro Pascal. It's Danny DeVito. We will get more info on the 3D Mario that was shown and teased in the presentation. It will be titled Super Mario Expanse, an open world 3D Mario. So Odyssey was kind of open world, but it was more or less in the same way that Mario 64 was. This will be, every area will be just connected to each other. You're with fast travel being an expanse, an unlockable thing. Donkey Kong will be involved in the game somehow to emphasize Nintendo's push to also make Donkey Kong prevalent in their advertising. He's got a Switch game coming out. He's part of instead of Zelda or any other IP, he is the second expansion to Universal. He was in the Mario movie, so I feel like they're trying to push Donkey Kong a little more. And Mario Kart X will be teased in this Mario Day presentation. A thing we already knew, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition will release March 20th. In April, a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Direct or update will be released on April 9th. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond releases June 12th as a both Switch 1 and Switch 2 game. There will be two versions of the game. Metroid Prime 2 and 3 Remastered will be shadow dropped on April 9th, a physical release sometime in May, probably like a week or so after or before the Switch 2 releases. It will be called the Switch 2. I forgot to say that. I think they're just going to call it the Switch 2.
Go the
PlayStation route where
1, 2, 3.
It's the easiest way to make parents not confused, because honestly, like one of the reasons Wii U didn't
Series
do well.
XS.
That Xbox, Wii
Xbox
U,
One.
Wii had so many accessories that people thought the Wii U was just an accessory. So like physical release in May, I think it's going to be a remaster like Pikmin 1 and 2 was, where it's just made higher res and just released. It's not going to be as much of a remastered Metroid Prime 1 was, where it looks beautiful. It's just going to be like, oh, it's a new way to play the game.
Yeah.
In May 22nd, the Switch 2 and Super Mario Expanse will release alongside a handful of third-party and indie releases. Somewhere in there, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 will release physically. In June, a June 11th Direct will be held. A few Switch 1 games will be confirmed for release. Kirby Planet Robobot, a 3DS game, will be ported to Switch 1 on July 17th. Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War remake will finally be shown after years of being rumored. It will release September 18th. And Pokemon Legends ZA will be confirmed for a release on November 6th. Mario Kart X is fully revealed and shown. It is a holiday game releasing on November 20th. Some people might think I'm crazy for saying Pokemon and Mario Kart in the same month, but Legends is technically a Pokemon spinoff, so I think they kind of want to go crazy. Like the Mario Kart, like we want to show you we're going nuts as much as we can for this launch of the year. Mario Kart X. I couldn't think of a good gimmick. Trent and I talked forever about what a good gimmick would be for Mario Kart X. Maybe something to do with like the tracks changing as you're racing. So like the second lap comes around, it's a completely new track or something. That might be cool. But it is also the 30th anniversary Mario Kart, so I expect it to be a big Mario Kart. A Mario spinoff of some kind will be revealed for October release. My prediction is Luigi's Mansion 4 out on October 23rd, because it's been 6 years since Luigi's Mansion 3 came out. It could be Mario Sports, and that also lines up, but I am making my prediction Luigi's Mansion 4. And at the end of the year, we'll come back and see how right I am.
Yeah.
Wind Waker HD, a Wii U remake of a GameCube game, will be ported to the Switch 2 out on August 14th. We will now see why they waited so long for it to not come on Switch 1 but Switch 2, so it can use the second screen like the Wii U version utilized. And a new game from a dormant Nintendo IP is revealed. My prediction's a little more wishy-washy here, but I think a new Earthbound or F-Zero, whether or not it's a release, new game, whatever, will be revealed and released in December. In July, Kirby Planet Robobot will release on July 17th. August, Wind Waker HD will release on August 14th. A trailer is dropped on Twitter for a Nintendo TV series project, either Fire Emblem or Splatoon.
Ooh.
I think it's been long enough since they've said they're kind of looking into other mediums. Yeah. We've got a movie out. We've got 2 movies in development. They had to have been working on a show. Two
movies being Mario 2 and Zelda.
Yeah. So something tells me there had to have been a show, and Splatoon's pretty big. Splatoon's got a manga to pull from, so I could see that being an anime or something. And then Fire Emblem is just that's an easy one to make into an anime, because it's basically it's a very anime game. In September, a direct will be held on September 10th. Mario Kart X will be re-shown to remind you that it is coming this November. DLC will be confirmed with this first wave releasing in spring of 2026. We will get an update on Pokemon ZA and Legends and Luigi's Mansion 4. The Earthbound/F-Zero game will get a release date of December 11th. A new Animal Crossing will be teased for 2026. And a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe Edition will be announced for Switch 2 with enhanced graphics and some new content teased, but we don't.
No new characters?
We don't know. New content will be teased. It will release in early 2026, and all the DLC will be included.
Waluigi?
Probably not. In October, Luigi's Mansion 4 will release on October 23rd. A teaser trailer for the Mario movie 2 will be released sometime in October because it comes out that following April. So that's 6
September,
months.
October is going to be good.
November, Pokemon Legends ZA will release on November 6th, and Mario Kart X will release on November 20th, being the two big holiday games of the year. December, Earthbound and F-Zero will release, or Earthbound or F-Zero will release in December 11th. Super Mario Expanse and Metroid Prime 4 will be nominated for the Game Awards. Mario Kart X will have come out too late. And Mario Expanse wins Game of the Year if Grand Theft Auto 6 is delayed to 2026, which I believe my non-Nintendo prediction, Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed to 2026. So if Grand Theft Auto 6 is not out this year and there aren't any other surprise releases, I do think Mario Expanse will win Game of the Year.
What about Mafia? Just kidding. Mafia doesn't have a chance against Mario.
But that is my Nintendo 2025 prediction. Obviously, there's some like I said, I kind of made a catch-all earlier. I'm like, we will see how Nintendo wants to be part of everyday life. I could remotely think of what those are going to be. Yeah. But that is my prediction for Nintendo 2025.
Do you think if we get Wario in the movie, we'll get Waluigi as well?
Probably, and I think the best case scenario is to just have him be voiced by Charles Martinet.
Really?
Yeah, just have
not
him.
Jim Carrey.
Oh my gosh, I don't think Nintendo.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of animated. Never, I'm sorry. I was thinking live action.
I don't think Nintendo should probably. Jim Carrey belongs to Sonic and Sega.
I said that thinking live action because he would make a good live action Waluigi.
No, Wario and Waluigi are gonna be Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm still wondering how I'm gonna feel about The Rock with a Maui haircut. Him with a mustache?
Oh, you think he's gonna have hair?
No, he's gonna have a wig.
I think they're gonna make Maui bald. Yeah, he hasn't had hair since like 2008.
No, true, but I'm like, still, it's a lose-lose situation. I don't want Maui to look bald, but because his hair is iconic, but I don't want Dwayne Johnson in a wig. When did you say the trailers are gonna come out? October?
Trailer for the Mario movie 2?
Yeah,
I think October. I don't know a date. Maybe.
Do you think we'll get a second trailer?
It'll be in the middle of the week. Second trailer of what?
For the Game Awards.
Either a second trailer for the Game Awards,
or wait till January,
or it'll wait till January because it comes out in April.
I mean, we did get 2 for Minecraft,
so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Nintendo doesn't like to show up at the Game Awards. True. They've only ever announced Smash characters. I think there was a Mario movie trailer at the Game Awards.
I remember they announced like the cast something in December.
They announced the cast earlier in that year, and then there was a trailer. I think
there
at
was
the Game
something
Awards.
in December where I'm like,
the thing was it was a clip. I think it was a clip of the movie.
Yeah.
So it might be something like that, another trailer. But I feel like other than being nominated, Nintendo probably won't be there much. Yeah. They'll be too focused on Switch 2's release to like. Yeah. Want to they've never really cared about the Game Awards. If they're nominated, they'll show up, but like.
And that's about it.
Yeah. The Game Awards is for Sony, Indies, and Microsoft, if Microsoft has anything to announce. So
if they announce.
So, yeah.
In lieu of birthdays this week, the 6th annual Discussing Film Critics Awards nominations were announced earlier in the week, and I was like, okay, that could take up a good amount of time. And then today, like 11 o'clock, they're like, oh, in an hour we're going to announce the winners. And I was like, are you kidding me? I thought I was done with notes for today. So we'll work our way up to Best Picture. For Best Comedy Feature, the nominations were A Different Man, A Real Pain, Anora, Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World, Hitman, and Hundreds of Beavers. The winner was Anora. They have silver and bronze awards for second and third place. Silver award went to Hitman, and bronze awards went to Hundreds of Beavers, which I feel like me and you need to watch. Because I saw when they came out like March or April or something like that, and people were like, "This is so stupid, but it's so funny."
I said everybody
live action Looney Tunes is what I heard.
Is everybody I've heard talk about it is like, you need to watch this movie. So
yeah, we need to watch that.
We need to watch it.
For best horror feature, the nominations were I Saw the TV Glow, Late Night with the Devil, Long Legs, Nosferatu, Smile 2, and The Substance. The winner was The Substance, and Silver Award went to Nosferatu, and Bronze Award went to Long Legs. Spoiler alert, you will see The Substance show up in a lot of these. For Best Breakthrough Performance, the nominations were Brandon Wilson for Nickel Boys, Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing, Juliette Garapi for Red Rooms, Katie O'Brien for Love Lies Bleeding, Lily Rose Depp for Nosferatu, and Mikey Madison for Honora. The winner was, of course, Mikey Madison. And the Silver Award went to Lily Rose Depp, and Bronze went to Clarence Macklin. For Best Debut Feature, which these are for like first-time directors or directorial debuts, nominations went to Dee Dee, How to Have Sex, Janet Planet, The First Omen, The Piano Lesson, and Woman of the Hour. The winner was The First Omen, and Silver Award went to How to Have Sex. Bronze went to Dee Dee. For Best Independent Feature, nominations were A Different Man, Bird, Dee Dee, Exhibiting Forgiveness, Hundreds of Beavers, Janet Planet, Late Night with the Devil, Love Lies Bleeding, Red Rooms, and Strange Darling. Dee Dee won, with silver going to Hundreds of Beavers and bronze going to Red Rooms. Best Animated Feature, nominations were Chicken for Linda, Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengance Most Fowl, and The Wild Robot. I will say some of these, especially when you like the acting stuff, I'm like, that's not what most people are saying.
Yeah.
Winner was The Wild Robot. Silver Award went to Flow, and bronze went to Wallace and Gromit, because those are easily the top three. Best Documentary Feature, nominations were Dahomey, Daughters, No Other Land, Superman, The Christopher Reeve Story, Will and Harper, and Sugarcane. Winner went to No Other Land, with silver going to Superman and bronze going to Will and Harper. Best Visual Effects, nominations were Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Gladiator, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And the winner was Dune Part 2. Silver going to Alien Romulus and bronze to Better Man, which is funny because Better Man is the same company that created the VFX for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes did not get the top three. Best Original Song nominations were El Mal and Mi Camino, both from Emilia Perez, Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot, Starburned and Unkissed from I Saw the TV Glow, Harper and Will Go West from Will and Harper, and Compress Repress from Challengers. Winner went to Compress Repress from Challengers. Silver Award went to Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot, and Bronze Award went to Starburned and Unkissed from I Saw the TV Glow. Best Makeup and Hairstyling nominations were A Different Man, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, The Substance, Wicked, and Beetlejuice. Winner went to The Substance. Silver Award went to Nosferatu, and bronze went to A Different Man. Best Sound nominations were Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Furiosa, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. Winner was The Substance, with Dune Part 2 getting the silver and Nosferatu getting the bronze. Best Film Editing, Honora, Challengers, Conclave, I Saw the TV Glow, Niggle Boys, and The Substance. Winner was The Challengers, Substance got silver, and Conclave got bronze. Best Production Design, Dune Part 2, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, The Brutalist, The Substance, and Wicked, with Wicked winning, Nosferatu getting silver, and The Brutalist getting bronze. Best Costume Design, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Gladiator 2, Maria, Nosferatu, and Wicked. Winner was Nosferatu, with Wicked getting the Silver Award and Gladiator 2 getting bronze. Best Original Score was The Challengers, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Queer, The Brutalist, and The Substance, with The Challengers winning and The Brutalist getting silver and Conclave getting bronze. Best Cinematography nominations were Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, Nickel Boys, The Brutalist, and The Substance. Winner was Nosferatu. Silver Award went to Nickel Boys, and Bronze Award went to The Brutalist. Best Adapted Screenplay nominations were Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, Nosferatu, Queer, and Sing Sing. The winner was Nickel Boys. Nosferatu got the Silver Award, and Conclave got bronze. Best Original Screenplay nominations were A Real Pain, Honora, Challengers, I Saw the TV Glow, The Brutalist, and The Substance. The winner was The Substance. Honora got the silver, and I Saw the TV Glow got the bronze. Best Stunt Ensemble went to nominations were Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga, Gladiator 2, The Fall Guy, and The Shadow Strays. Furiosa won, with The Fall Guy getting silver and The Shadow Strays getting bronze. Best Ensemble nominations were Honora, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, Sing Sing, and The Brutalist. Sing Sing won, with Conclave getting silver and Dune Part 2 getting bronze. Best International Feature Film, All We Imagine Is Light, Dahomey, Amelia Perez, Flo, The Girl with a Needle, Kneecap, No Other Land, The Seed of the Sacred Fig, The Beast, and I'm Still Here. The winner was No Other Land, with All We Imagine Is Light getting silver and Amelia Perez getting bronze. Best Supporting Actress, Anjanou Ellis-Taylor for Nickel Boys, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Danielle Deadwyler for The Piano Lesson, John Chen for Dee Dee, Margaret Qualley for The Substance, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. I've not seen The Piano Lesson, but Danielle Deadwyler did win. Ariana Grande got the silver, and Margaret Qualley got The Substance, which I think Ariana Grande and Margaret Qualley are like the two shoo-ins for that. Best Supporting Actor, Adam Pearson for A Different Man, Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing, Denzel Washington for Gladiator 2, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, and Yura Borisov for Anora. Clarence Macklin won for Sing Sing, and Adam Pearson for A Different Man got silver. Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain got bronze. For Best Actor, nominees were Adrian Brody from The Brutalist, Coleman Domingo from Sing Sing, Daniel Craig for Queer, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, Sebastian Stan for A Different Man, and Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. Coleman Domingo won for Sing Sing, with Adrian Brody getting silver and Timothée Chalamet getting bronze, which opened up the race to Coleman Domingo and Timothée Chalamet, in my opinion. Best Actress, Angelina Jolie for Maria, Demi Moore for The Substance, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here, Lily Rose Depp for Nosferatu, Mikey Madison for Anora, and Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truths. Mikey Madison won, and Demi Moore got silver, and Marianne Jean-Baptiste got bronze. Best Director, Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, Denis Villeneuve in Dune Part 2, Jane Schoenbrunn for I Saw the TV Glow, Ramel Ross for Nickel Boys, and Coralie Fargate for The Substance. Fargate won for The Substance, and Ramel Ross got silver for Nickel Boys, while Brady Corbett got bronze for The Brutalist. And Best Picture nominations were Anora, The Brutalist, Challengers, Conclave, Dune Part 2, I Saw the TV Glow, Nickel Boys, Nosferatu, Sing Sing, and The Substance. What do you think won? Have you seen any of those?
No.
Wicked. You saw Wicked.
I saw Wicked. Where's the only one I've seen?
No, Wicked's not even in that.
Oh, it's not even in that?
That's one of the things where I'm like, I was reading these nominations, I'm like, Wicked is not in here as much as I thought it should be. Anora, The Brutalist, Challengers, Conclave, Dune Part 2, I Saw the TV Glow, Nickel Boys, Nosferatu, Sing Sing, The Substance. I don't think you've seen any of those.
I'm going to guess The Substance one.
It did not.
It did not? Okay.
Nickel Boys. The Substance did get silver, but Anora won bronze, which is weird because usually, at least in Oscars terms, director and picture are the same. And that is the 6th annual Discussing Film Critics Awards. Of course, shout out to Discussing Film for my main source of news for this entire podcast on my side. Now on to your anniversaries. I do have one anniversaries. I hope you got
I have anniversaries, and it'll go right into anime.
Yes.
Just to get it all out there. On December 29th, we had the 25th anniversary of Fallout 2 and the 57th anniversary of The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. December 31st, we had the 15th anniversary of Disney's acquisition of Marvel.
Yes.
And the 30th anniversary of The Beast Within, a Gabriel Knight mystery. On January 1st, we had the 45th anniversary of Aklabeth World of Doom on the Apple II. And those are my anniversaries. Not a whole lot. I mean, there's some other movies I could have talked about, but like...
Yeah. I know a show that came out 14 years ago on January 3rd. Wildcrats.
Thank you. See,
that's 14 years old.
That one was on my when I was looking at lists.
Show it up on that?
It just didn't show up. Yeah.
I just happened to see it while scrolling Facebook yesterday, and I was like, oh, I remember what 2 episodes. It was the shark. It wasn't the shark one. It was the sperm whale and the now crocodile.
Anime True Beauty Season 2 has been announced. Solo Camping for 2 is receiving an anime adaptation in July 2025. Hibi wa Sujiredo Mechi Umashi has been announced for 2025. The story of this follows the culinary adventures of Mako Kawai, a first-year college student. Although details about the story of the series are currently sparse, the tagline of the teaser art... this is from... Crunchyroll, by the way.
Yeah.
The tagline on the teaser art states that cuteness plus deliciousness equals the ultimate meal. Additionally, manga author Koro, known for Asteroid in Love, will produce a manga adaptation for the series that will be published in Kadokawa's Alive Plus manga website beginning in 2025. And finally, Secrets of the Silent Witch will premiere in 2025. Monica Everett is the Silent Witch, the only mage in the world who can use enchanted magecraft, a true hero who single-handedly defeated a legendary black dragon. However, this young genius is actually super duper shy. That's right, she learned the cast spell silently just to avoid speaking in public. And despite her power, she has zero self-confidence. Now Monica has been tasked with secretly guarding the second prince. How can she keep it together as she faces both the evil forces targeting the prince and the terrors of social interaction.
This is me. This is me.
I'm like, I can't wait for that. That is my anime and anniversaries for this week.
All the anime and anniversaries?
Yep.
I got a little bit of comic side. On the DC side of things, Creature Commandos for the 6th episode in a row. Episodes 5 and 6 released in the last 2 weeks. Which, did you see this? Episode 6 got our first look at Batman.
Yep.
In the DCU.
In fact,
it was more of a silhouette.
In fact, it was a silhouette because apparently they did a full-on design so we would see him in the light. And James Gunn was like...
They haven't officially landed on that yet.
He was like, I don't want to choose a design that we have to stick with now, so just make it a silhouette. And I'm like, you know what? It's pretty smart.
Yeah. It was really... And it was also renewed for season 2.
But as consistent as the designs are to live action that we've seen so far, we'll watch...
Rick Flag alone.
Watch none of that be look-wise be accurate. I'm sure the events will be important at some point. But
like Rick Flag and the set photos for Superman. His black hair.
It's like, why? He couldn't have worn a wig?
The Brave and the Bold, Andy Muschietti's Batman movie, has been delayed for a bit. But then I also saw... a couple of days later that James Gunn was like, no, it's not. But the big delay for the Batman Part 2, 3rd episode in a row, delayed by 1 year to October 1st, 2027. James Gunn did clarify and said it is only because there isn't a full script yet. Not hating on Matt Reeves for it, because James Gunn went on to say, like, the wait time between these is, like, normal. And it may no longer be titled The Batman Part 2. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, we got a casting for that. Jason Momoa has been officially cast as Lobo. James Gunn says they're, quote, holding a beat on development for a Flash film in the DCU. Sorry. And he also said Batman's origin story will not be shown in the DCU, saying, quote, we don't need to hear the origin story again. Makes sense.
Makes sense. If he's not doing it with Superman, if he's not doing it, he might do it with Supergirl, because Supergirl's not...
Maybe... Yeah.
I would argue Supergirl isn't, like, her backstory is not as mainstream.
Oh, no, I agree.
We could go ask my parents, they could tell you. But, like, you ask...
A random someone a random nerd be like... Hey,
yeah, right. Yeah.
You know the origin of Supergirl? And you're like, no.
Ask a random, like, movie Superman fan and be like, Supergirl's backstory, give it to me.
He's like, they're cousins?
Yeah. That's about as most people know.
That's literally all I know.
Yeah, so...
On the Marvel side of things, we got, for the 6th episode in a row, Captain America Brave New World shows up. New look at Anthony Mackie, Danny Ramirez, and Harrison Ford, and a new teaser was released. For the 3rd episode in a row, What If Season 3 had its series finale earlier this week. All episodes dropped from December 22nd to 29th. I did finish the last 2 this morning, or this afternoon. I don't care what people say, that last episode was fire. Fantastic Four First Steps, we got a new poster was released. We got our first trailer released for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, featuring a new look at Peter Parker / Spider-Man, and first look at Coleman Domingo's Norman Osborn, as well as we got a first poster for it. Did you watch it?
No, and I'll be honest, because I'm just not that excited anymore.
I'm
only because of the animation. The animation is just...
It looks okay to me.
It looks okay to you?
It looks okay to me.
I'm probably a lot more...
Of course, I watch everything that Marvel comes out.
I'm a lot more, I don't know, critical of animation.
Yeah, right. As you should be.
I say that, but some of my favorite shows are some of the worst animated things ever. It's just, I don't like how it looks. It could be animated terribly, but as long as it looks okay, there's just something about the look. The designs are great. All the designs are, but I don't know. I don't care about the fact that, this character is never associated with Superman or Spider-Man's in it. Like, I don't care about that. There's something about the way the characters move that I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah.
They should have picked 2D. They should have picked 3D. They shouldn't have tried to do whatever the heck this is. So that's just, I'll probably give it a try when it comes out. But I'm kind of wanting to leave myself blind because I just don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the trailer. I don't care.
I was wondering before it came, like the day before it came out, I was like, it's coming out at the end of January. We still don't have a trailer for it yet. On Avengers Doomsday, Charlie Cox has reportedly been training to return as Daredevil, according to the gym he's been training at. Marvel exec Brad Winderbaum reveals there has been talks about bringing a Marvel animation movie to theaters. They are currently looking for the right world, character, and story to best fit a 2-hour runtime. Andrew Garfield says he isn't attached to Return for Spider-Man 4, and he said, quote, but I know no one's going to trust anything I say from now on. I threw that in there because I'm like, I have to throw that. Yeah. And that is all of my comics news. For celebrity deaths this week, I included last week's as well. Art Evans, he was 82. He was a Die Hard 2 and a Soldier's Story star. Rose Stebra, She was 82. Latvian animator known for The Cat's Mill. Alpha Anderson was 78. Chic singer on Le Freak and Good Times. Hudson Meek was 16. Child star of Baby Driver. Jeffrey Duell was 81. Chisholm and the Young and the Restless star. Greg Gumbel was 78. Longtime CBS sportscaster. Olivia Hussey Easley was 73. Romeo and Juliet and the original Black Christmas star. Dale Haddon was 76. Actress and model who died of suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. Charles Shire was 83. Father of the Bride and Private Benjamin filmmaker. Britt Alcroft was 81. She created Thomas the Tank Engine. Dick Capri was 93. They Still Call Me Bruce and One Angry Mad actor and comedian. And Thomas Francis O'Brien and Ruth Reardon O'Brien. He was 95 and she was 92, respectively. Epidemiologist. Thomas was an epidemiologist, and Ruth was a lawyer who made strides for women in the legal field, respectively. And they were both the parents of Conan O'Brien, passed away within days of each other. And then this week, OG Mako, who was 32, you guessed it, rapper. George Folsey Jr. was 85, producer and film editor for the Blues Brothers and Coming to America. Charles Dolan was 98, founder of HBO and Cablevision. Former U.S. President and Nobel Prize winner Jimmy Carter died at the age of 100. Linda Lavin was 87, Tony-winning Broadway actress and star of Alice. Angus McInnes was 77, Star Wars actor who played Gold Leader. John Capodice was 83, General Hospital and Ace Ventura actor. Wayne Osmond was 73, Osmond Brothers singer and brother of Donnie and Marie. Brenton Wood was 83, Oogum Boogum and Gimme Little Signs singer. Jeff Baena was 47, indie filmmaker and husband of Aubrey Plaza. Perry, he was 30, a miniature donkey that served as the model for Donkey and Shrek, passed away. And Nora Orlandi, she was 91, first female film composer of Italian media whose short score was reused for Kill Bill Volume 2. Our condolences go out to all the families of those, especially during this holiday season. My sources this week were Movie Insider, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, The Insider, Discussing Film, Entertainment Weekly, IndieWire, Men's Health, GQ, Variety, The Guardian, and Palo Alto Online.
I want to thank my sources this week: Discussing Film, IGN, Crunchyroll, Forbes, and the official sites and socials of the studios mentioned here today. And now, January is once again not going to be a tier list month, or sort of.
I don't think you're going to get a tier list till like March.
It's going to be a sort of tier list month because we will have tiny tier lists, but we're not doing like one big tier list
until March, which we have.
Oh yeah, we have a pretty good one for March.
Woo, get ready for that.
But for the next couple months, because of either busyness or just the fact that for this specifically, it's because it's the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We kind of want to do something special for it. But for February, it's because of busyness that we already know about. This week, we will be doing a different thing each week in January to commemorate the new year. This week, Jay and I have picked specifically the news that I talk about, and
I picked the news that I talked about.
And we are quizzing each other on it, 5 questions each.
Mm-hmm. We surf through our notes.
Through our notes of 2024 to ask each other these 5 questions.
And after we ask, if you want to play along and, come back within hours for each question and play along with it, you're more than welcome to. We each have 5 questions. You want to start?
Yeah, so I do all 5 and then you do all 5?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So my first question for Jay, in the episode Mondays are for Getting Off Track, a wax cylinder recording of By the Light of the Silvery Moon played while we watched a game trailer. What game was the trailer for?
Emio the Smiling Man?
That is correct.
Is that right? Okay. I knew it was had a later title of like a thing.
Yeah, I don't think we knew the title at the time.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know if he's going to accept that one.
What was the first video game release to be announced on the podcast?
Okay, this one I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know if this qualifies as like the full release. Indigo Park Chapter 1? No?
I'm going to give you a half point because I was trying to debate on whether or not, but I think I counted that as an announcement and not a release. I believe Braid Anniversary Edition was the first release that I talked about.
I think that was the next thing you said.
It was a couple weeks before I actually went, these are the releases, instead of just having all my news together.
That's where I'm like,
so that one I was iffy on, but I'm like, that's a good question to ask. Like, what's the first game?
Oh, dude, speaking of that, when I was going through all my notes, my first notes, is in such a different format than what I do now. I was like, I can't understand this.
Oh, same.
I was like, I'm having an aneurysm trying to figure out how to read this.
On question 3, Jay repeated a joke to Stumpy to win Try Not to Laugh. What was the joke?
I listened to the whole thing over again to get it. Buttered and breaded.
Buttered and breaded. That is correct.
I had so much poop jokes in that.
You did. It's your go-to.
So much poop jokes.
What episode did Stumpy start including descriptions with the video game releases of the week?
Okay, this one I'm also not. It could be one of the 2 before it. I think it was Mondays Are for Comic-Con 2024.
That is correct.
Episode 11.
As far as my notes go, that is the first in my notes that I wrote down synopses. So,
like the other 2, you had like little short blurbs, but I'm like, I don't think that doesn't sound like official.
And finally, what number issue did Marvel announce the celebration of its 85th anniversary?
The 50,000th issue.
That is correct. I didn't include any anime questions because I'm like,
Jay's not going to know.
Jay's not going to know.
He's not going to know the difference between the 3.
It's like, what anime did you finally lose it on the description? And I'm like, I'm not going to listen to every single episode to remember which anime that was because there's honestly all of them.
Because I feel like that's happened 3 separate times.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay. And mine, these were all medium to hardish questions. Which of our friends got a birthday shout out in the same episode as our infamous Martha Stewart breakdown?
That would be Jacob.
Jacob? I thought it was Alicia.
Might have been Alicia. The episode
was it both?
It might have been both. The episode released around the same time of both their birthdays. So I picked. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm only confident about 2 of Jay's questions. His were harder than mine.
Oh wow, it was Jacob.
Okay,
so I got my own answer wrong. You're right.
Alrighty, Jacob, I was correct.
Dang. Number 2, in which episode did I start giving Glenn Powell his own category in the news?
This one, honestly, I couldn't remember, so this is an absolute shot in the dark. Mondays are for Lego and bacon.
No. Gamescom 2024.
I think I'm 1 week off.
1 away?
Oh.
Episode 15, Mondays are for Gamescom 2024. That's another thing where it's like, I mentioned a lot, but we said...
Yeah, that became its own...
Deadpool and Wolverine had the largest string of consecutive appearances on the podcast with 21. What movie, TV show, or topic has, to date, the second longest string of consecutive appearances?
I'm trying to remember which one because there's 2 I think it could be. I'm going to go with Blade.
No. That was like 4.
Was that 4? I could have sworn that went into the 12s. My other one I had written down was Venom Last Dance.
The Penguin.
Okay,
it had like 14, and then I realized I mentioned it in the Emmys 1 week or Golden Globes nominations, and then I gave it its own thing spot. Technically, it's had 16 in a row.
Okay.
Which ended this week.
All right.
Because we're not counting this. Which movie with an absurd premise involving sheep did we find out about early on that had us excited for a good time?
3 Bags Full.
A sheep detective movie.
Yep.
Which I'm like, I need some updates on that now because we're going to see that together. Our last question, in which episode did we announce that Inside Out 2 officially passed 2019's The Lion King in the highest grossing films of all time?
So this is a tricky one because Instinct wants to go, the week it happened. Like when I was researching, I'm like, okay, I just got to work backwards, Google it. Like when I was doing I was like, no, because we talked about it a week after it happened because we weren't quite sure. So I'm going to say
my thing was lagging.
Mondays are for Funko and overpriced consoles.
Beetlejuice and Astrobot. Was that the week it happened?
Mondays are for Funko and overpriced console. I think I'm a week off. I think I went 2 weeks ahead instead of 1 week.
Mm-hmm. I might have made these too hard. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
That's the thing where I don't know how hard you're gonna go.
No, these were easy in that like going back and either listening to the show or doing some Googling.
Yeah.
Mine were easier only because I went like, what are some bits and what is like specifically like.
That's one thing I'm like I try to do bits. The Penguin I thought you'd get. Oh, honestly.
I thought full movies and I probably would have said the Penguin had I thought about shows.
Well, Daredevil alone went to like 9 or 10.
Oh, it did.
Daredevil Born Again. Yeah. Which is getting 9 episodes. So it's probably going to get more than that. Can I give you my bonus one?
Yes. What's your bonus question?
Whenever we would go to record and you would be finishing notes, what movie would I always pull up to watch as a joke?
How to Train Your Dragon 2.
One. And then 2.
And then 2. Okay.
For those of you who don't know, there'd be some recording times somebody had to finish notes and I'd get here and I'd, as a joke, pull up How to Train Your Dragon on my phone.
And it would just be, this is the land of Burke.
What in my mind, what I was going for was when Shane as a chosen would pull out his like Game Boy or like DS and you hear, ding.
And so that's exactly what it was like, where I would just be sitting there doing notes,
and I'd
like,
be silent.
Jay, I'm so sorry about, like, we're running late because I need to finish notes. And you're just like, no, it's fine. This is the land of Burke.
As a joke. I didn't care, but as a joke. Oh my goodness.
Well, this has been our first 2025 episode of Mondays Are for the Nerds.
And in 5 short months, we're a year old.
Yeah. Cannot wait for hopefully a couple weeks from now when we do have a lot of news to talk about, and I talk about the Switch 2 for a while.
Yes.
And see
you
how
have to have like your own like weekly appearance.
Oh, it'll have to be. It's the the update, the Nintendo prediction update section where I'm like,
exactly.
Was I right about the month of January?
Every checkpoint.
Yeah.
No.
And then we will have my grade. We will actually grade it out. Like we'll get the average, and then we'll see what my grade is.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Thank you for all of you who have listened up to this point in the podcast.
We truly appreciate
all of our
it.
fans out there. We appreciate every single view or listen we get.
And on that note, we will see you all next week.
Yes. Socials.
Oh yes. Duh. It's been a while.
It's been a whole year.
It's been a whole year. We haven't done this since last year. It's terrible. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those interactive things. Follow the podcast on most social medias at Mondays for Nerds. Follow me, Tristan Stump, on most social medias at Sir Stumpsalot or at Sir Stumpsalot17.
Follow me at Po the Panda 001 on Twitter. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what my Instagram is. But
it's
R Chris Pratt fan or something like that.
Yeah, R Chris and Pratt fan. And then I believe your Blue Sky is the same as your Twitter.
Po the Panda 001.
Yes.
Yep.
And on that note,
thank you for joining us.
We will see you all next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.